Hej allihopa! Or as we say in Florida, hello everybody. Anyway, it's been a while now. TV Tim or Tim TV Sweden. TV Tim Sweden, I don't know, whatever I'm going to call it. Anyway, this is the third episode and I just want to reach out to everyone. Getting quite a few views already after two episodes, over 100 and close to 100 second episode. And as I said, I'm just doing this a little bit for fun, but also a little bit to see how a channel like this can grow, a personal YouTube channel with news, information, and other crap around it. But I actually got some important things to say in this epic third episode from Falafel City, aka Kebab Town, aka Malmö, Sweden. So a friend of mine down in the Philippines, I just got to know him over YouTube and Skype. He just told me today that he had been banned from YouTube for 7 days. He can't upload any of his shows for 7 days. So I'm not going to say his name in case there is a problem for him with that, but I have offered him, I have reached out to him and said that we can continue to make his episodes through me, because as of now, I'm not banned on YouTube. I guess you have to do something that is against the regulations to be banned. I have actually been banned for 3 days and then 7 days from Facebook. And they accused me and had me to acknowledge that I had performed something called hate speech. And I have never done any hate speech, except in real life to somebody who I believe was worth it. But also, you can also get banned or blocked from YouTube and Facebook for a certain amount of days if you say or do something that is against their rules. But how can free speech be against any rules, actually? And how come that Facebook and YouTube and all these places are changing the rules due to what they think is correct language or what they consider, not hate speech or racism or anything else? They don't know what I mean. They don't know what I have in my heart when I say something like, if I say that I like a certain president or that I root for a certain candidate in an election, if I think that there is illegalities behind certain winners of certain things, like if I look at a tennis match and I become McEnroe and I smash everything, bottles and waters, and scream at the ref because I think that the ball was in, God damn it. And I mean, that's my way of reacting. And Björn Borg was just calm and shut his mouth up for years and years. I don't know if you know why he did that, but that was due to his coach. That he had the same temper as McEnroe. He was screaming and yelling as well. And he said, "You're not going to win," his coach said. If you continue like that, you have to keep it calm, then you will win. So you have different personalities, different ways of acting. And that's the same, I think, with Facebook and YouTube, that you write or say something in your shows, in your programs, in your YouTube channels, and it doesn't have to mean that you're a racist or that you hate Muslims or you hate anybody. If I say that, and no, I'm not going to say the word now because I think this is disgraceful. So I'm going to say something else and check if they will ban me too. But I mean, instead of saying the word that I know they won't accept, I will say that leaders of the Muslim faith sometimes say things and do things in Christian countries, as Sweden is a Christian country originally, so to say, the Vikings, Christianity, and history. Our legal book is based on the Bible and certain other traditions and history around Christianity in many ways. And we don't have anything from the Quran and Islam in that sense, like Sharia laws, or we don't have anything regarding that we shouldn't be allowed to eat pork meat, or that boys and girls can't be in the same swimming pool after school and things like that. We don't have that as our tradition, as our culture. So I think that, why can't I say that in my way? that I think that that is wrong. I think it's wrong that certain cultures come to Sweden and they want to change my culture, they want to change my country. Why would it be illegal for me to say that I don't like that? I think that's the killing of free speech. And there's also another thing, if you know about, lately it's been so much talk about racism, it's so much talk about, the organization with 3 letters, and the other organization who has a name that is against fascism, if you know what I mean. How come that they can do things like violence in the street and burning down cities and towns, and the mainstream media is not even mentioning that. They call it peaceful protesting. And when people in hundreds of thousands came out to protest peacefully for the previous leader of the country in the West, the big country in the West that we all like to go to, then a certain amount of people makes an illegality and breaks in and destroy things, then it's this ex-leader's fault that they did that, but it's not the other leader's fault when cities are burning and people are being killed and police are being killed. I mean, it's so disgraceful, it's not fair, it's all kinds of negative words that these big tech gods who owns the world with these platforms that we're using to spread our ideas and our thoughts and talk about things in these channels. It's not fair that I should sit here and try to, be afraid or maybe not afraid, but I'm concerned to be blocked or canceled. This cancel culture here of canceling everything and say what I can say or what I think that's disgraceful. I'm actually starting to ask people when they say, are you a racist? Not particularly to me, because everybody knows I have friends from all over the world. I mean, the last thing I am is a racist, but I'm starting to say, maybe, is it illegal? Sorry, nose itch again. I guess it's not enough whiskey, so I have a little Bushmill from Ireland here. Cheers, it's a Saturday night. No, it's not. It's, what is it actually? It's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday today? The 6th of April, yeah. I'm gonna go in and watch some Champions League soccer soon, but I wanna finish this because I was planning to do this episode over Easter, but then things came in between. So I'm babbling here a little bit now, as I say in all my episodes, I'm babbling. I free babble, nobody can stop me. That's kind of interesting. Well, I'm a power outage could stop me, but I can't really project that now. So, I mean, is it illegal to be a racist? So if somebody says, are you a racist? Yeah, I don't like dogs, for instance. That's another race. I don't actually consider different human beings another race, because the people from Australia, Africa, Iceland, anywhere in this world, Latinos, I'm against I'm against the word African American. I heard somewhere like, are you an African American? Why do you call yourself an African American? I'm not a German Swede, just because my ancestors came in from Germany. I'm not a German Swede. What is that? I mean, if you're from Somalia and you come to Sweden, are you a Somalia Swede? No, you're a Somalian in Sweden. So, I mean, you're an American, obviously, if you haven't been to Africa. Have you ever been to Africa? Oh, no, it was my great-great-great-grandfather, Buffalo Soldier stolen from Africa. Well, you are not an African American. You are an American with an inheritance from a certain culture, from a certain land, from a certain area, another place on earth. But I don't consider you an African American because you're black. That's ridiculous. I mean, I think that's totally wrong. And since all human beings can produce children together, except the people in the Pride Festival, but other people that are living a way that nature shows can produce and reproduce, whatever the words are, that means we are the same race. If we come from some kind of evolution from scratch, the little slime ball that came up to be a cow who became whatever, a monkey and then me, ridiculous, that whole idea actually. But anyway, if you believe that, or you believe in a constructor, the president, God, the creator, the Almighty, whether you believe in that or not, there must be some kind of start back in time, way back in time. And that means that we're all brothers and sisters, since we can get pregnant and have children. Man and woman can do that actually. And I don't think that that considers, you know, we have to stop talking about racism. You can talk about cultures, behavior, how you treat people, why you're not nice to a certain group, why you as a black person don't like whites or vice versa or whatever. That's not racism, that's stupidity in my book. Because you should judge anybody after their actions, right? My English is not top notch nowadays, but I will try my best. And as I said, you know, I only have a little over 100 views last 2 episodes, but I think this will grow in time. And I'm going to start to do this a little bit more professional with backdrops and, you know, whatever to make it a little nicer, but also this regular, you know, stuff with a little whiskey and hello, to see who likes to watch this. I mean, my friends' channels, they have over 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,000 views every week, some of them every day. So I think this can grow if I have the time, if I have the will to do it. But anyway, so I'm babbling because I think that this free speech, as I call it, babbling, it means that I can get things out of my system, and maybe you agree with me, or maybe you don't agree with me. But either way, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it to people who you think are interested in helping me, supporting me, not with money. I'm not going to ask for money, but I'm going to ask for comments in the comment sections below, like subjects, if you agree with me, if you don't agree, if you want to talk about something or whatever. You know, I think this whole thing here with the cancel culture and with the First Amendment, as they say in America, free speech, it's starting to wear on people. I hear things, I see things that people are afraid or nervous to talk on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and actually say what they want. In order to say what you want in a way that so that you positively can help people and develop things for the future, you have to be able to say your heart's meaning without being nervous of being shut down or canceled. Swedish television, for instance, SVT, I have been a part of X episodes there during the election last year, and P1, Swedish Radio Politics, all the way back from 2015. They never told me what to say. They never told me what not to say, but I knew that they were prepared to shut me down and twist the camera and silence me, my audio, if I would start to say something that was not in the narrative, not for the purpose that I was there. I mean, I could have been a crazy man just saying crazy things straight out in the air, live all over Sweden. So obviously they have to have some kind of security. But I mean, talking about what president you prefer, what if you like a king and a queen, I mean, if you like monarchy or republic or whatever system you like, why not be able to say what you think, especially ahead of an election? We have an election coming up in Sweden here now in 2022. US has big problems now with their notes, so-called Mr. P. Mr. JB is not a P, because I don't even think that KH, I don't think she's VP either. I think there is some other forces behind this whole situation in that country, because they can't be grown-ups and be so naive and so stupid that they go against the sound policies that Mr. T down in Florida arranged during his 4 years. You see, I have to play around with the words and babble, because why would they have open borders? Why would they do these things to these poor children and young women and boys, you know, when they know that the traffickers are using these open border system and catch and release system that they have there? And what about Sweden? What are we going to do? In America, they have a Congress election in 2022. The Republicans will try to take the House back. Maybe the Senate too. I don't know if that's all, if that also 2022. I don't think so. I think it's the House. But that's important for the Republicans to take that back and then to fight to take back the White House and the Senate for 2024. And we in Sweden, what do we got to do? We have to take our country back as well. Cheers again. Brynäs is leading 1-0. HV 71. How we put it? Anyway, I'm following the hockey anyway. So, because Sweden is falling apart. Not everybody wants to talk about it. Not everybody dares to talk about it. Radio and TV, mainstream media, they are not talking about it. They're doing the opposite. They're talking about supporting the wrong type of culture, the wrong type of immigrants that are in this country. And I don't mean, and I don't think that nobody means an individual, like that individual. Look at that Muslim on the street. I'm not saying that that individual is doing anything wrong and that that person is not entitled to be here. If he's a nice guy, if he has his paper in order, if he's not a criminal. What I'm saying is that too many people are coming to this country without having been vetted. Vetted for you Swedish people means that if you vet somebody, you check their origin, their paperwork. Where do you come from? What's your intention? What's your plan to be in Sweden? Why are you here? Why don't you have a paper? What's your name? How old are you? Oh, you're from Afghanistan and you're 12? Well, why do you look like 25 then? And then when they start to do crimes, adapting into organizations with criminality in Sweden, we are not supposed to be able to deport them, because then our government feels sorry for them because they come from such a bad situation from the country they came here from, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, and so on. But that's not the right solution for me. The right solution for me is what the XP did in America. Close the borders, fix your house first. I mean, if I have a company with 200 employees and I have cash flow and financials in order to support and pay salaries to these 200 employees, then if somebody comes and tells me you got to bring in another 100, well, I don't have any offices, I don't have any space, I don't have food, I don't have money, I can't pay them. Well, you got to do it anyway. Well, I got to let everybody in. How's that going to work? If you don't treat your culture and your country as a company, it will never work. Not financially, not in any way. And I think that financially is the first way, because everything comes around finances. I can be a very good person. Maybe I want to help 10 people on the street. Maybe I want to do all kinds of good things for people and myself. But if I can't afford to buy stuff for myself first, if I can't secure and take care of my house, how am I going to be able to help other people? That's what this government in Sweden has done. It's a fundamental big mistake for the past years, is that they just bring in more people without education, without anything, lots of them, many of them, the majority of them. They have no idea who they are and why they're here. And they give them social welfare and support and money so that it decreases support and help for our elderly who built this country with blood, sweat, and tears, as you say. And they pay taxes, and now their pension, their retirement money is so low, it's ridiculous. Sometimes they don't get coffee every day. They have to cut down on eggs because so many billions of crowns have to go to newcomers, to new Swedes. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. I'd rather help people where they come from, where they came from, so to say, in their home area. Support that country, that government with money to help their own people. And if it's a corrupt government, you can't help them. Well, then you gotta make sure that these people come to safe places around where they live. I've always said that if Sweden comes to a situation where I have to flee my country, I would hope to flee to Finland or Norway, possibly Russia or Iceland. But my first goal would not be Yemen or Syria. Why would I want to go so far away if there are so many good countries around me with the same traditions, same religion, same culture? Why do all these people want to come here when we don't live as they live? And all they show is that they don't want to adapt or assimilate. They just want to be as they are. And then, so to say, change the city, the country, the countryside. My country doesn't look Swedish anymore. That's what I'm trying to say. That's my big problem here. That Malmö and parts of other cities in Sweden and many other small cities and areas are starting to look Muslim, like an Islam state. And why can't I say that I don't like that? I can say that I like this person with a name and that he's an Arab or a Persian guy from Iran, or he's a Berb from Morocco. I can say that I like the person. I'm friends with him. But I can also look that guy in the eye and say, I don't like your religion. Not the actual religion, the ideology that many of your people uses to do crazy thing in my country, like Sharia laws, like to forbid pork meat, to throw people off balconies. It's called hedersmord, which means honor killings, I should say, bad translation. But, you know, when a family decides that they have to kill the daughter in the family because she's been unfaithful by having had a Swedish boyfriend or another boyfriend from another country that they don't support, accept, so to say. All of these things we did not have in Sweden with other immigrant people. When we opened up our country for guest workers from Yugoslavia, Italy, Greece, Spain, you name it. People came, but they had a Christian background, either secular or believing Christian, but still Christian values. Because even the secular, even the atheists that come from Greece and Italy, they can't avoid that I can feel and know that they have a Christian background in a way, in their family or from the country they come from. Thai people, you have the Buddhism and Hinduism, you have the Shinto religion from Japan. They never cause any problems for us and for anybody in any other country they come to. I'm not saying that you can't be a criminal if you're from Japan. Hello, that's not the point here. The point is that they don't infect my culture with something that it's not, to change it to something else. They accept where they come to, and they have their own traditions in their Thai restaurants, in their Chinese restaurants, in their homes, and in their clubs and organizations. But they never try to change the looks of my country so that it looks like Thailand. I'm not talking about a flag here and there for a massage parlor or anything. That's not the point. The point is the whole thing, applying and applying and applying for more mosques, to do, you know, these 5 times a day outcries for Allah in the minarets and so on. And then they ask for more. And then they ask to have, I know that they filed last year to be able to have, you know, niqabs where you only see the women's eyes, and that they should be able to have that clothing thing while they work in a daycare center with small children. For God's sakes, that's terrible. You're going to scare the shit out of those kids having these ghosts running around. Why can't I say that? I have nothing against that woman. I feel sorry for her, either being forced to have that thing on her or being so brainwashed that she believes even that she wants to have that on her, because it's not normal. And it's not normal to see all these beautiful women with the shawls on their heads daytime in the sun when they walk next to Swedish or other foreign nationals, girls, women, with their hairs all over the place flying in the wind, and they can't, but they can hang with them, they can be friends with them and associate with them, but they can't take it off even if they want to. I mean, what kind of God is that allows our girls to have their hair, you know, as I said, blowing in the wind? But the same God doesn't accept that a certain girl from a certain other country can't show her hair. That's obviously insanity. It's so stupid, nobody can believe it. That has nothing to do with the question if God exists or not. This is plain stupidity. So now anyway, I want to quit my babble today, make this a little shorter, and say that there is a guy in America. He's a friend of the ex Mr. P. And he's from Minnesota. He has a company and he makes a hell of a lot of this product that he started out with. You know what you put your head on when you go to bed? That thing that you can sing a Prince song that goes cool as the other side of the, okay. That guy started a company years ago and he has now created many other articles, not just what you put your head on when you sleep, but also blankets and towels and slippers and all kinds of products. And he has also started a new platform. And that new platform, or actually, I don't know if it's a platform, but it's going to be a new book, you know, with faces on. You know what I mean? You have your face in a book. And it's called my friend's name, Frank. I put it out on my book of faces. And you see how ridiculous this is? I have to twist the words all the time because, and make sure that the robots, you know, don't catch on to it. And even if they do, I don't think they care with this small amount of viewers that I have. But I'm going to do this just to try. I know many people who does this in America now. They have to change all the words. If I want to say, you know, that I don't like you, I can say, duck you. Duck you, or you a duck. But I can't say the other letter. So I say, duck you, mother ducker, which is stupid in a way also. So anyway, my friend Frank, it's called, just a name, it's going to be a platform or a book with faces, millions of faces. Millions of faces have already signed up. So you can go into that channel. It's called MikeLindell TV.com. So that's his first name, Mike, right? And his last name is Lindel or LL. I don't know if it's double L in the end, but you know what I mean. It's one word, his first and last name, and then TV.com. And there are some very interesting documentaries about the November competition for who should live in the Yellow House in America, you know, the Yellow House, you know what I mean, right? Skål. And that's anyway, so that's my friend's name that he's starting now, Frank. And that's regarding free speech. You can say what you want without being censored. And then, you know, assured, you know what I mean again, right? So this is tricky and I'm just babbling. So I have this all like figured out that I'm going to try to say these words. They might not be the same every time, but I know damn sure that I will be closed down if I say these things about ideologies, about certain religions, even though I clearly state that I'm not against the individuals from these countries, even though I'm not against any person. I don't hate anybody. I have friends from all over the world. But I don't think that the world should be changed in the way it's changing now. And there's so much shit going on with C-19 that I got myself that is really, really crazy. And have you noticed the brainwashing here? That the whole world, I mean, ask anybody you know, how many of the friends you know, or the families you know, or employees or others in your relationships, how many is saying no to the shot? And everybody who is saying yes to the shot, which is a majority, have never asked me, do you know, or themselves, what's in the shot? How can you just believe this crazy world with what's going on with C-19, how it came from that country in the East, and how it spread it to all over the world so that people are going around tricked like ducks outside alone with masks on. I mean, how ducked is that? That you can't even think with your mind openly that it's insane to go with a mask outside alone. There are plenty of more examples of this, but this is the only one I'm going to take today. And I'm not against the shot. Maybe it works. I know that some people get sick from it. Some people die. But obviously, I want the world to open up so we can go to football or soccer and hockey games with packed stadiums, concerts, shows, anything. Of course, I want that. But how come then that Dr. Fauci and all of these experts in America and other countries, they say that you can't get sick if you take the shot? Well, now some people got the shot and even the second shot, but they're still forced to wear a mask. Why is the leader in America in the Yellow House wearing a mask? He has gotten his 2 shots. It's insanity that he wears a mask. And all of the other people there in the Congress and Senate, everybody has gotten the shot. Why do they still have their meetings with masks then if you can't get sick? So are you supposed to trust the vaccine or not? So anyway, I should say that shot, not what I said, but I said it once now. VACC. So anyway, my point today is that I want to tell you that there is a new thing coming, a new voice that is free, my friend Frank, and that there is a new book of faces that will take over the world, and it will be really bad for the ones that are out now, because who wants to be on a platform where you get canceled or censored just for saying what you think and believe? I mean, if I was sitting here now, if I was in Syria now or Afghanistan, and I was sitting here doing this channel talking about God and Jesus and how much I love Jesus and how much higher of an entity he is than the other culture's main man, if you understand what I say. The one that you can't talk about or write the picture about or anything, because then you get threats for your life and so on. I mean, I could never do that. That's not free speech. Free speech for me is that you're allowed to say what you want. But then if you say something that is really bad, obviously, and if it's illegal, you should be punished. If you do something illegal on the street, if you rape somebody or rob somebody, that's a crime. That's not the same thing as talking freely about how you want your country and your society and your culture to look, and how you wish people would behave in the country. We got, finally, I'm going to say this. I got a note, in the mail today from the Malmö city office, where they beg us to all fill out the form to help them to make sure that people in Malmö are not being discriminated, or what's the word for it? Discriminate, isn't that the right word in English? I hope so. Anyway, obviously they think that a lot of people from other countries don't feel safe on the street here, and that there are negative things being done and said to certain groups of immigrants. But there is not a word in this form about all of the rapes and gang violence and it's a new phenomenon here in Sweden, that people from certain countries, they what do you call it now? They hit people and they throw stones and rocks on young boys and young girls, and they actually piss on them, urinate on them, whatever we call it. It's a disgraceful way of torturing your friends in school. And they do that because they come from certain countries, and they do this against Swedish people. A lot of Swedish people are being hurt in this way, and a lot of girls are being raped, and a lot of old people are being robbed and smashed and so on, and nothing about this. The Swedish government is not saying anything about that. We have to make sure that we don't bring in more people who behaves in these disgraceful ways against us, our host, who invited you to come to freedom here in Sweden. And I'm not going to back down 1 second from that. That has nothing to do with racism or any wrongdoing from in my part. And I want you to comment about this, because a lot of people have asked me, oh, Tim, you shouldn't say this and that. You can get hurt if people see this, and people from this and this country. Well, duck them, I say, because this is my country, actually. And I am entitled to say what I think, and I'm entitled to do what I want to make sure that my kids, their kids, and my parents and everybody lives in a country that is free and safe, the way my parents and grandparents built this country. I do not accept Prime Minister Stefan Löfven that we have today, who is totally destroying this country in his insanity, in his, he's so stupid. I mean, I have to say it straight up. And the other parties that he works with, Annie Lööf, Center, I think, and the Liberals, the Liberal Party, with this colored woman, she's the leader there. And they're all stupid on the left in Sweden. They're as stupid as the left in America. They rather destroy our beautiful country for power than work with this right-wing party who has completely sane and smart ideas how to fix this country. The same what happened in America for the past 4 years. The TDS, his first name, TDS, his name, deranged syndrome. So if my name is Tim and I was the leader, they all had Tim deranged syndrome in America. Rather than accepting the good things he did, they had to hate him. Hate, hate, hate. And our prime minister, our leader in Sweden, Stefan Löfven, stands straight out on TV and says that the Sweden Democrats comes from white supremacy and Nazis. It's a total disgrace. It's terrible that he is allowed to say that. And he says that if we want this party to be the leader of Sweden, then we are racists and they are Nazis, and democracy is killed. How can democracy be killed if this party, Sweden Democrat, gets 30-40% in an open democratic election? So I will vote for anybody who says that we will close the borders and secure our country and make sure that we have people in this country who is worthy to be here. And the other ones we will throw out. Deport anybody who has done certain crimes, who is engaged in certain criminalities against their own people and against our people. Burglaries, rapes, in domestic terrorism, gun shootings, throwing rocks at police. If you do that constantly and you know who they are, deport them, put them on the next bus to the airport and put them in a freight plane to Syria. Why not? Or to the Taliban. And as I said, if we're going to put them in prison, they're not going to eat my food. Bring them up to Kiruna in the north of Sweden and they can carry stones outside the coal mines and stone mines in the north of Sweden. You rape a Swedish girl, you carry stones for 5 years in the coal outside the mines in northern Sweden. You think they will dare to do anything? And then the Social Democrats says, no, we can't have that type of punishment. Why not? Tell me why not? That's what they did in White Russia, in Belarus, Siberia and Russia. Put them all the way to Gulag and let them carry stones and rocks for 5 years. Why not? If you rape our Swedish girls, why not? I don't get it. You tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm getting pissed, so I'm going to close down for today. Go in and watch some Champions League soccer, and I want you to comment and let me know what you think about my thoughts here, because I think that I hear more and more of this in many countries in Europe, and all of my friends in Florida and New York thinks the same. They're tired of being second-class citizens because our governments are thinking more about our criminal immigrants than they do our Swedish population. And Swedish population, I also mean immigrants who have become Swedes and act like it. It's very, very easy. This is nowhere. You don't have to be a brain surgeon or an astronaut to say what I say. It's pretty like mainstream. A goldfish can say this better than our prime minister. So that's it for now. Cheers, my friend. Let me know what you think and we'll talk soon. Or I talk and you listen. Babylon, baby. Ciao.